Hello friends, it is Susan with Susie Simply Handmade. We're going to take some pieces of homespun fabric. These are a 12 by 9. They're 12 long by 9 inches wide. I have two pieces here. We are going to make a little fall pillow and we're going to have so much fun doing this. The pillow is going to be long ways like this and we are going to put a little pumpkin face on it. Now my pumpkin face measures about 4.5 by 7.5. So 7.5 long by 4.5 inches wide. We're going to hand sew our pumpkin on here. You can hot glue yours if you would like to. I'm going to stitch mine just really quick. I've got some buttons for eyes. I've cut out just a little wonky, like primitive type nose that's going to go on here. And then I have drawn some little lines where his mouth is going to be. And I'm using like some black cording to sew the mouth on. And then I have just regular white thread. I have 2 needles threaded here. I didn't want to stitch black around the pumpkin or anything. So I'm going to try to just center my pumpkin best I can. I'm just going to go in with a running stitch. I want to make sure you have a good knot at the end of your thread so it won't pull through the back. And you want to start on the back side, of course. And we are just going to do a quick running stitch. Now you want to come in at least 1/4 inch from the edge so that your fabric doesn't fray, because with homespun your fabric will fray pretty easily, and if you sew real near the edge and those threads pull out, your design could come apart. Some plain little stitches there. I hope you can see those. That's all I'm doing. If you don't want to hand sew, or if you don't have a needle and thread, you don't have to do this. You can draw the mouth on with a marker if you have one. You can hot glue these, together. I'm just going up through, down, back through, just with a really simple running stitch. You just weave your needle up through the fabric and back down through the fabric. Okay, so once you have sewn all the way around, pull it back through the back, and I'm going to just stitch it through the fabric and go through my big loop a couple times and knot it like that. I like to make sure it's not going to come loose. All right, then we're going to cut that one off, and that's all there is. We're going to go ahead and we are going to put this together, and I'm going to leave raw edges, okay? So I'm going to do this inside to inside, and we're going to go ahead, glue down the side here, just about 1/8 to 1/4 inch in from the edge, because you want to allow room for that material to fray. And then just line your edges up as good as you can. Okay, and here's the little stem that's going to go at the top of him too, so it's going to show up really well. I'm going to go ahead and stitch his mouth really quick before we do the rest so that it'll be easier to get to it. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch his little mouth right along the lines that I drew. It just makes it easier if you kind of draw a little outline of where you want to do your stitches for your mouth. So if you've never sewn, this is a great simple little project for you to try. And there's what his little mouth is going to look like. Very simple. So we're going to flip it over. I'm just going to, let's see if we can try the, wrap it around your, kind of pull it into a knot there. Do it again. Pull it tight, because I didn't want to pull it through the fabric on the front, because I didn't want you to be able to see where I went through the fabric again on the front. Okay, now we're going to cut that off, and I leave just a little bit. His mouth is finished. Now we're going to go ahead and we are going to, now again, you can sew this as well. It just, you really need to have good, small, tight stitches if you're going to stuff something, because take it from me, when you go to stuff something and you have hand sewn it and it is not tight, the stuffing will just bulge those stitches if they're too long and loose, and your stuffing will push right out. So that's why I like to use a sewing machine when I'm doing something like this. When I'm making pillows, if I don't use a sewing machine, I use hot glue. And you can get hot glue in fabric form for hot glue guns. It's called Surebonder glue, I believe. But I just use a lot of regular high temp hot glue. And if you give that time to set in your fabric, it's not going to come loose. And make sure you like really smash it and spread it out so that you don't get like a big old bulky area of glue in, you know, that you can feel. You don't want to feel that big line of glue. You're going to feel it some because it is going to get stiff once it dries, but it won't be as bad as if you kind of spread it out. So we're going to press that together down this side. And if your fabric ends up a little bit off, just trim it. I have a section here that's a little bit wider, like it's overlap. I'm just going to trim that off a little bit. We're going to put the little stem on the top up here, and I'm just going to glue it on. I should have sewn it, but I forgot about it. So we're just going to put a little glue, really, really thin bit of hot glue is all it's going to take for that to hold it, because it's not going to go anywhere. We'll use hot glue for that and the eyes. And like I say, you can sew the nose and the stem on if you want to. I'm just going to hot glue mine. It's just as easy to do, easier to do, matter of fact. So it's going to be like to throw, you know, on a little I've got like a little primitive bench in my living room. It'll be perfect for that, to throw on there and set some pumpkins on there with it. And I'm going to glue on these little button eyeballs. Yeah, this will be a perfect little decorative element to throw on there with some pumpkins and a fall colored, you know, blanket throw. It'll be a really sweet little combination to throw on there. So there he is, all put together. Now all we have to do is stuff him. Isn't he sweet? He's just a little primitive fella. I think he's adorable. So if you use these eyes and you have grandchildren or children, if you use buttons for eyes and they may get a hold of this, you want to sew your buttons on, okay? Or use permanent glue or something where they will not be able to get these buttons off. I'm going to stuff this. And I'm just using regular polyfill. See how that opened up right there? I need a little more glue there. I missed that spot, I guess, or it didn't stick. So if you have a place that pops open, just add a little glue. Just using regular polyfill for making pillows, dolls. You can use it for anything like that. And we're going to stuff this really well. Try to get down into those corners, but don't push really hard because you will bust your glue stitches. I would probably just spot clean it and let it air dry if I was you. But if it's not handled, it shouldn't, you know, you shouldn't need to wash it. And I'm just going to stuff it pretty good right up to the top. And then we will try to glue that top shut carefully without burning ourselves. We'll stuff it pretty good. Just kind of really spread and distribute that polyfill evenly. Then we are going to add just a little tiny bit more up toward the top. Then we're going to get ready and glue this shut. It's going to be so cute. I'm going to start on one edge, and I'm going to start slowly gluing this together. Because you got to keep your polyfill tucked down in there, not let it get stuck in your glue as you press and close your seam. So maybe go from, you know, do one corner, and I'm going to come in from the other side. And then what you can do is just squish and move your polyfill around, and it'll fill out that other corner as you go. So I'm going to go here to the other corner, hold that polyfill down in there really well. And we're going to put plenty of glue on here, and I'm going to start from the outside edge and press inward. Take your pillow and kind of squish and push and squeeze, manipulate your polyfill into those corners. Little pillow, and it's, you know, it's full up to the corners here. So then you have this adorable, sweet little pillow. And I think we're going to put just a little bow right up here at the top of him. Let me just grab a little strip. Oh, well, we'll just use this. We're just going to use a piece of homespun, the same color as the pumpkin. It'll be okay. You can use a different color if you want to. I thought I had a different color orange here, but I don't have any cut. So we'll just use a piece of this. I'm just going to make a really quick little shoestring bow. It's going to be so cute. So cute. Make sure it's not too big, not too small. And we're just going to put it right on there. Right at the base of the stem. And there you go. Look how sweet that is. I love it. I'm going to make some little curly cues for up here using some jute rope. So all you want to do is take some Elmer's glue or Mod Podge, whatever you have. I'm going to just saturate my jute rope. This is a really thin little tiny jute rope. I'm going to saturate this with Elmer's glue. And then you're going to need a paintbrush, something really thin and small. And you are going to wrap this around your paintbrush. And then we're going to take our heat tool. We're going to dry it really quick. Now it's going to stick a little bit, but it'll come off. And then you're going to slide it off of your paintbrush. Just kind of unwrap it off of there. Just undo it off of there like that. And then make sure it holds its shape good. You know, don't stretch it or pull on it too hard because you will pull it back out of shape. And then you have some little curly cues. Anyway, there's our little pillow with a sweet little tendril. Got the little bow up there. Just looks like an adorable little pillow that you can decorate your home with. So let me show you a couple other things that I made today that we could put all together. Here are some of the other things that I have created this week. I did this fun little pumpkin stack using some pumpkins from the Dollar General store. I added a larger stem. Added a larger stem, painted it gold, added lots of pretties at the top, a little bow, some moss in between. So these were individual little fabric pumpkins from the Dollar General store. I took this little Dollar Tree scarecrow. This was a little head on a stick like you would use in, you know, as a pick in like a little floral arrangement or something. And I added a styrofoam ball to the bottom, covered it with fabric. Made him really sweet. I upcycled him, added different things to him. I added the straw here and the little bow, made him a little bow tie. Of course, our pillow, and then we have some brown paper, sunflowers, and a little crow, and then just a little terracotta pot that I decorated. But I made those little sunflowers, added some book pages to the centers. The paper is actually just peeled right off a cardboard box. I love making things out of cardboard. So I hope that you guys enjoy these fun, super simple, budget-friendly projects. I just use whatever fabrics I have, whatever I can pick up really inexpensively. These pumpkins were $1 a piece, and then I just cut off some little picks and different things off of old wreaths and swags and things like that I pick up at Goodwill or that people donate to me. This was just $1 scarecrow and a little styrofoam ball from the Dollar General store and a scrap of fabric. And then, of course, like I say, paper off of cardboard. I tore off to make the flowers with, some used book pages. I even took the little crow, and they are all stuffed, the flowers and the crow, with a little bit of polyfill. And then these are just picks, just pieces off of picks that I have cut off. I have some pieces of an old grapevine wreath that I cut off and stuck down in here. Just little things like that. And then you have some really, really sweet pieces you can add to your fall decor to make some little vignettes. I hope that it inspires you to make your own little pumpkin pillow. And he is just so sweet. You can just throw him wherever, on your sofa. Like I say, I have a little primitive bench that he's going to go on with a couple other little decorative pieces. I think he's perfect for that. And he's sort of primitive, and you could grunge him up if you wanted to make him even more primitive. Use darker colors, whatever you want to, but I think he's really, really sweet. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about this, and I want to see pictures if you make one. Let me see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye, everyone.